Hello and welcome to African Living Abroad. My name is Jamhuri. I'm here to share my international experiences, build bridges between cultures with the hope of making the world a better place. I consider myself a social observer, a commentator of social events, an interpreter, and a storyteller. And today, my heart is so grateful with the experiences I've had with Mother Nature these couple of weeks. This summer, we had, from the very beginning of July, very, very hot temperatures that I have not experienced since living in Canada for 23 years, and 24. And it really changed the way I look at things. It was even much hotter than Kenya, the equator where I was born. And so we've had a lot of disasters, a lot of fires across Canada, a lot of fires in British Columbia, and in northern Manitoba as well. And so even though my community was very fortunate to not to have fires nearby, we could actually experience the effect of those fires. It was quite foggy in the environment, and we could smell fires. I want to say that my heart goes to those people who lost their homes, lost property. I mean, I cannot imagine what it must be, what it must feel like. It must be very devastating to have to start everything from scratch, and to have all the memories that you've built for yourself and your family just eradicated like that. And so when I'm not touched by disaster, I always think about the people who've been touched by it. And I really, really empathize with you. And I wish you all the best, that your lives could eventually come back to normal as it can be. And so these few days I've been enjoying the cool weather. It is today, September 8th, and I feel that my heart is just bubbling with gratitude to Mother Nature. I want to say up front that I am an Indigenous woman, indigenous to Kenya, and I connect very, very quickly and very well with nature. And I've said in my previous video that Mother Nature has been so kind as to reveal many of her secrets to me, and these secrets that helps me personally to go about life and to deal with my life, and I will probably talk more about nature and go into the spiritual aspect of life more in the future, the near future, as necessary. So I feel that today, if you haven't noticed, I've been wondering about the merging of 3 seasons: springtime, late summer, and early fall. So after we had so much rain these last 2 weeks, I mean, the grass has been very lush, and flowers are blooming, and this is September, okay? And I've also noticed the dandelions are flowering. Dandelions are the first spring flowers here. And I think by the end of July, we will not have any more dandelion flowers. Their life is very short-lived. But today I took a couple of pictures of dandelions. And this is like really everything is looking like spring in autumn or fall, as we call it here. And summer is slow in ending. So I appreciate that. And I usually notice so much change in my environment when the weather changes. I feel it in my body, in my system. And so I'm grateful for having this combination of 3 seasons. I think this is really, for me, an interesting phenomenon. And I hope that you also experience that. And maybe more people will experience that. And I just want to talk about a couple of benefits that I get from nature, and because I spend many hours outside going for long walks. And yesterday, actually, I have to say that I was feeling very exhausted after work. And I dragged myself outside, and it was just, in my community, not about 5 minutes at the edge of the park, I was hit by wind, just like now. And I just embraced the wind. And I remembered the words of a very wise spiritual leader or teacher from India. I believe that is Sadhguru. He said he spent so much time in the woods, almost up to a month, I think. He lived in the woods. I mean, the woods called him, actually, and he spent so much time there day and night and he learned so many secrets about nature. And when he came out, he felt that he was spiritually enlightened. And so yesterday when I was hit by the wind, I remember the words that he said, be one with the wind. And so I spread my arms out and I just embraced the wind, and I called it wind therapy. So here are a couple of benefits that I experience in nature, and I believe that anyone who spends time in nature would experience. One of them is stress relief. So yesterday I didn't have to go far away, but spending time in the wind, and then I walked outside maybe another 2 minutes, and it was very cloudy, and then it starts to drizzle, and I just let myself be rained on, and I just walked slowly home. But then I've been also realizing that there is different sounds of nature. One of them is the sound of the wind. And this week I also caught myself saying, hey, that's the sound of rain, and it's so calming. So when I'm feeling stressed and I go for a walk, I feel that my stress actually disappears. I can walk about 2 miles or 4 miles and thinking about my problems and trying to problem solve. And by the time I come back home, I'll be feeling so light, and the answers start to come to me. And I've realized this because I've been doing this my whole life, even when I was living in Kenya as a teenager. So nature really calls me. And one of them is health. Number 2 is it improves your health. Usually when I'm feeling a bit stressed out and I'm having a headache, before I rush and take a painkiller, I tell myself, go for a walk, breathe the fresh air, and maybe stress that's hurting me. And when I come back, actually, I don't need to take any painkiller. I feel better. And doctors actually also prescribe walks when you're feeling a little bit depressed. The third one is, I feel that there is something spiritual about being out in nature. When I walk slow, and I'm a solitary walker, and I watch the bugs on the grass, on the road, I see the flowers, I watch how it interacts with the wind, I watch the sun, I feel the rain, I watch the clouds. And after a while, what I see in nature starts to speak to me about my real life situation or humanity's life situation. And one of the lessons I've learned about that is diversity. There is so much beauty in diversity in nature. When all the wildflowers and grasses come together, I mean, monotony of one type of flower, one type of grass is not comparable. And that can reflect also on humanity. And I started to question more and more these people who like to separate, or politicians, or whoever invented what I call, apartheid, and the separation of people according to their races and many differences. When humanity comes together in diversity, there is so much beauty in it. And so when I learned these lessons, I really feel that it's applicable to us. And the fourth one is that we get ideas, we get creative when we spend time in nature. And I find that when I go out to nature, so much intuition comes, what we call gut feeling. I start to hear something within my spirit. I start to even get ideas of what I want to speak about in my videos, or, you know, anything I've been praying about, I become even prayerful. And so these are so many benefits that helps us to interact with nature. And so I want to say really that I've become more and more, it's this year that I really, dealing with Canadian Indigenous issues, I realized, wow, I am an Indigenous person myself, and I'm proud being an Indigenous woman because of all the knowledge that is coming to me. I'm remembering a lot of things, the ways of my ancestors, the things that my grandparents taught me about nature. And I'm seeing the healing plants. I mean, even the healing plants, I start to remember. There's a great memory coming out. And so I want to encourage you, city people. I mean, I'm a country girl, grew up in Africa, in the countryside, and I don't survive well in the city. I've tried that, doesn't work for me because I miss nature. And so, the city life is quite stressful, and the sounds of the city are quite different than this. And so there are so many parks around your city, around your community. I would encourage you to make use of it. And so I dedicate this video in closing to city people. Enjoy nature and come out into the countryside. And so I like to close by saying, as I feel that I work with these ideas that I feel is my calling, dealing and addressing social issues, even the most difficult ones. When I come out in nature, things become very, very clear, actually. And so I would say also that, I guess this is a bonus one, number 5 or 4, that nature is very, very empowering. And so I get closer to my calling, to my, what vocation, what I need to be doing in life when I'm out in nature. I get the confidence and say yes, and a confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. So I want to challenge you, like every time, that listen to your gut. Find out what that calling is for you, and let's make the world a better place together. So if you like what I'm sharing, even if it's only for an entertainment factor for you, please subscribe to my channel, share this information, this video, and click the notification bell, especially the black bell. That will allow you to receive notifications for all my videos. So until next time, be blessed, go out in nature, and may the wind carry you. Enjoy. Bye.